Welcome back, everyone, for another deep dive.
Yeah, another one.
This time, you guys have given us something pretty unique.
Yes, definitely unique.
We're looking at a YouTube transcript of a hypnotherapy session that really zeroes in on the March 2025 eclipses.
That's right.
But it also talks about a planetary alignment that's happening just before that in February.
Uh-huh.
And this really isn't your everyday sort of astrological forecast. This goes deep into some really, really fascinating areas.
Oh, it certainly does.
Yeah.
Yeah, as we were exploring the source material, we really noticed that it covers a whole wide range of concepts.
Yeah.
We're talking planetary alignment, interdimensional portals, energetic shifts, mentions of the blood moon, solar eclipse, even ancient rituals, and possible influences on human DNA.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack here.
There is.
I think it's important to state right off the bat that we are not here to try to claim that any of this is true or not true.
Exactly.
What we want to do is really dig into the most compelling ideas presented in this transcript. Right.
And see if we can explore them in a way that makes sense.
Yeah.
In a way that's clear and engaging for you guys.
Absolutely.
So there's so much to cover.
Yeah.
Where should we even begin?
Well, I think it makes sense to start with that first celestial event that was highlighted, which was the planetary alignment happening on February the 28th, 2025.
Right.
Now, according to the hypnotherapy subject, Miriam, this involved not just the typical 7 planets that we typically think of.
Yeah, she perceived 8 planets aligning.
Yeah.
And she even identified a gaseous one near Jupiter that doesn't even have a recognized name.
Yeah, that's quite an opening right there.
It is, yeah.
And I think what's particularly interesting is not just this additional celestial body, but the way the alignment itself is described. So instead of like that kind of common mental image of planets in a vertical line,
right,
Miriam saw this alignment as a rotating circle around a central point.
So it's like a cosmic dance.
Yeah, kind of a cosmic dance, right?
And this unusual alignment is considered a key.
What is this key to?
Well, according to the transcript, this planetary alignment is a key to opening interdimensional portals. But we're talking stellar or galactic scale.
Wow.
So it's like this turning motion, unlocking access to other spaces and other forms of consciousness.
Okay, so when we talk about, celestial events acting as keys.
Yeah.
I mean, does that maybe resonate with some older ideas that saw the cosmos as this living, interconnected system?
Absolutely.
Where certain alignments might unlock different energetic possibilities?
Yeah, different states of awareness, potentially.
Okay,
So
that's our key.
yeah, so we have this rotating alignment of 8 planets, including this mysterious gaseous one that sets the stage for everything else that happens.
Okay, so let's move into March.
Okay.
And talk about the lunar eclipse on March 13th and 14th.
Okay.
Which is often referred to as a blood moon.
Yes.
Energetically, what did the session reveal about this?
Well, energetically, Miriam really emphasized the days both before and after the actual eclipse is described as a time when energetic portals open and we see significant energy movements occurring throughout the universe.
She used the terms eclipses and deployments of energy on a cosmic level.
Yeah, deployments of energy, it sounds almost like something's being intentionally released.
It does, yeah. Where's this energy coming from and what's its purpose?
Well, from what I gather in the transcript, Miriam perceived this as cosmic information that has been sort of stored in different locations throughout the universe, the multiverse, and this planetary alignment that we talked about that acts as that initial key, along with these events happening in March, that's what liberates this energetic information.
Okay, so this released cosmic information isn't just floating around out there somewhere. It's described as having a direct impact here on Earth.
That's right.
Right.
According to the transcript, this information enters the DNA of humans and all living beings on Earth.
So plants, animals.
Plants, animals, even other dimensional beings, potentially triggering a global shift in consciousness.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty powerful, this concept of this cosmic download.
Yeah.
Influencing our very biological and energetic makeup. When the transcript mentions these photons of light activating DNA.
Right.
It's interesting to think about this maybe in a metaphysical sense, like an energetic transfer of information.
Right.
Which is a little bit different than how we understand photons scientifically as particles of light.
A global shift in consciousness triggered by a blood moon. That's a pretty big claim.
It is a big claim.
But the session doesn't stop there. It delves into the metaphysical aspects of this lunar eclipse as well.
Yeah, it takes a really interesting turn here.
Yeah.
So metaphysically, the blood moon eclipse is linked to these ancient Babylonian rituals and sacrifices.
Okay.
And these rituals are described as being aimed at nourishing these non-benevolent entities or forces.
Uh-huh.
And the transcript is very careful to differentiate this from Satanism, stating that this is more ancient.
Okay.
And in a way more primal.
More ancient than Satanism. That's a pretty vivid picture.
It is.
So where are these rituals envisioned to be taking place?
Well, Miriam perceived these rituals occurring at 5 specific points on Earth, forming a 5-pointed star.
Okay.
And the sacrifices and offerings are said to be directed towards the hidden side of the moon.
Okay.
Which is described as an artificial platform.
An artificial platform, the moon as something other than a natural satellite. I mean, this deep dive is living up to its name.
I told you this one was unique.
So we have sacrifices on the hidden side of an artificial moon linked to these ancient Babylonian entities. How does the solar eclipse on March 29th fit into all of this?
Okay, so the solar eclipse is presented as a counterbalancing event.
Okay.
Its purpose, according to the session, is to sort of neutralize those energies associated with the lunar eclipse.
Okay.
Specifically those Babylonian influences.
Okay.
It's seen as an attempt to restore equilibrium.
So like a cosmic balancing act, if you will.
Oh, yeah. Like a cosmic balancing act, yeah.
Darkness on one side, light on the other.
Exactly.
And what specific effects are attributed to the solar eclipse?
Well, the solar eclipse is described as a potentiation of other aspects, particularly in desert regions.
Okay.
And locations where different types of rituals are taking place. Rituals focused on elevating human energy.
Okay.
And it's also said to activate photons of light within beings.
Activating photons of light within us, it's like a cellular awakening.
Yeah, it's like a cellular awakening, yeah.
Now let's try to connect the dots here.
Okay.
How do these three events, the planetary alignment, the lunar eclipse, and the solar eclipse, how do they interrelate based on what the transcript tells us?
Okay, so the planetary alignment is consistently reiterated as that key.
Right.
That unlocks the portals necessary for the subsequent eclipses.
Okay.
And those portals then facilitate the movement of both light, which is described as photons,
okay,
and darkness, which is referred to as this dense light energy.
Okay.
The session also suggests that these events are not random. They're actually pre-programmed and have even occurred in other spacetimes.
So they're like echoes across timelines.
Yeah, it goes across different timelines.
That's a mind-bending concept.
It is.
And these dates and eclipses are not just isolated occurrences. They seem to be linked to something much deeper.
Yeah, the transcript actually connects these events to Kabbalah.
Mm-hmm.
Ancient writings like tablets, pyramid inscriptions,
okay,
even the DNA of humans that are currently on Earth.
So there's this profound interconnectedness between our internal universe and the external cosmos.
Yes, exactly.
What about those ancient myths linking blood moons to apocalyptic events? Where do those fit in?
Well, the session touches on this with this added layer of the moon being an artificial satellite.
Right.
And these sacrifices on the hidden side of the moon are said to have the potential to amplify catastrophic events on Earth, like earthquakes and tsunamis.
So it really reinforces this idea of external manipulation influencing earthly affairs.
It does.
Artificial moon amplifying catastrophes. We've really gone down the rabbit hole here. Let's go even deeper.
Okay.
Let's delve into the mechanics and the origins of these events as presented in the transcript.
Okay.
That planetary alignment we talked about.
Yeah.
You mentioned that it's not a static line?
Exactly. It's described as a dynamic, rotating, energetic cocktail.
Okay.
The Earth is perceived as being at the center of a circumference.
Yeah.
With the other planets acting like radii spinning around this central point.
So it's like a cosmic blender of energies with Earth right in the middle.
Yeah, it's a great analogy, yeah.
And what is the planetary configuration before this alignment happens?
So before the alignment, the planets are perceived in this kind of zigzag pattern.
Okay.
And this configuration supposedly prevents the energetic exchange that the alignment facilitates.
Okay.
It's only when the planets come into this specific circular arrangement that this cocktail of planetary energies can be mixed and activated.
So it's like the zigzag is all the ingredients sitting separately, and then the alignment is when they all get blended together.
Yeah, perfect analogy.
What's the driving force behind the shift from zigzag to alignment? Where does that energy come from?
Well, according to the session, the energy driving this alignment originates from Earth itself.
From Earth?
Yeah, but it's said to be manipulated by this ancient programming involving programmed quartz crystals that are located deep within the planet.
Okay.
And these crystals were supposedly placed long before human civilization even existed.
Programmed quartz crystals deep within the Earth orchestrating planetary movements.
Yes.
Who or what is credited with this incredible feat of programming?
The transcript attributes this to these intelligent beings that are described as co-creators of the universe.
Co-creators of the universe. Wow. That broadens the perspective a little bit.
It does.
And this isn't just happening in isolation. The session mentions conditioning that is observed in all living beings.
Yeah, so this conditioning is linked to parallel co-creation.
Okay.
By various intelligences throughout the cosmos.
So we're part of a larger cosmic tapestry of influence? And why, according to the session, are humans largely unaware of their own co-creative power?
Well, this lack of awareness is attributed to these restrictions that are within our DNA.
Okay.
But the incoming light photon information following the lunar eclipse is said to be unlocking those restrictions.
So it's like a DNA upgrade courtesy of cosmic light photons.
Exactly.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it is.
And despite this interconnectedness that is throughout the multiverse, the effects of these specific events are described as unique to Earth.
That's right.
Why is that?
Well, the uniqueness to Earth is attributed to this specific program that is contained within the observed circle of planets.
Oh, okay.
It's as if Earth is the focal point of this particular cosmic experiment or energetic configuration.
So Earth is the center of the cosmic stage for this drama.
That's right.
Let's consider the role of consciousness and these potential external forces in all of this, that circle that's limiting the effects. What's the significance there?
Well, the circle is tied to the programmed consciousness of some humans that, according to the session, are here to facilitate these events.
Okay.
So it suggests that our collective consciousness plays a role in both the creation and the limitation of these cosmic influences.
So our thoughts and beliefs have a tangible effect on these grand cosmic cycles.
Yes, exactly.
And the transcript mentions a historical struggle between dark and light energies.
Yes, it describes this long-standing struggle with dark energies linked to those Babylonian entities.
Okay.
Having suppressed light photons for a significant period.
Okay.
But there are instances of light taking precedence in Earth's history that are mentioned occurring in very ancient pre-human civilizations.
Pre-human civilizations where light prevailed. That's fascinating.
It is fascinating.
Is there any evidence cited for these earlier times of light dominance?
Yeah, the session actually mentions evidence of advanced but destroyed civilizations that are found in radioactive areas of India and Turkey.
Okay.
Specifically referencing Göbekli. And these are presented as examples of periods where that light energy was more dominant before ultimately being overcome.
So like remnants of technologically advanced pre-human societies as potential proof of this earlier age of light.
Exactly.
Wow. What led to the shift towards darkness gaining dominance?
Well, the shift is linked to the opening of portals by a group in ancient North America that are referred to as the Guardians of the Earth.
Okay.
And they were supposedly deceived by these predatory, draconian, and reptilian beings.
Okay.
Allowing these darker forces to gain influence.
Deception leading to a cosmic power shift. This is intricate.
It is a very intricate narrative.
Let's move to the present day.
Okay.
What does the session suggest about current rituals and the nature of sacrifice?
So the transcript states that entities linked to ancient Babylon, and they are described as these aggressive reptilians, reside in a dome above Earth.
Okay.
And require periodic sacrifices.
Okay.
Both blood and energy to sustain themselves.
A dome above Earth requiring sacrifices? That's a stark image. What kinds of beings are typically involved in these sacrifices?
Well, the sacrifices involve beings with light photons.
Okay.
Meaning those who are connected to the original source, energy and blood.
Okay.
And this includes humans.
Yeah.
But also, surprisingly, some reptilians sacrificing others of different frequencies within their own group.
Reptilians sacrificing other reptilians based on energy frequency. That's another layer.
It is.
And humans aren't the only non-reptilian beings mentioned as being taken for sacrifice.
No, another race resembling ornithorynchs.
Yeah.
You know, platypuses are also described as being taken for sacrifice, despite their seemingly benevolent nature.
I mean, you can't say this deep dive isn't taking us to some unexpected corners of the universe.
No, right?
So we have a variety of beings that are caught in this cycle of sacrifice, driven by the needs of these Babylonian-linked entities in this dome.
Right.
Let's circle back to that 8th planet.
Okay.
Miriam perceived, you said it wasn't a planet in the traditional sense?
No, not really.
So what was it?
It's described as this flexible gaseous mass that envelops and interconnects the other planets.
Okay.
Facilitating that energetic cocktail of the alignment.
So like a gaseous connector binding the other planets together?
Exactly.
What kind of analogy does the transcript use to help us understand its function?
Well, it's likened to the cerebrospinal fluid and bone marrow in the human body.
Okay.
And also to the amniotic fluid during fetal development.
Okay.
Suggesting this nurturing role for the alignment's gestation.
So it's not a solid body, it's more of a vital, life-giving medium for this planetary configuration.
That's right.
And there was even communication with a being from this planet.
Yes, Miriam channeled a being named Coke from this gaseous mass.
Coke?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Coke described their function as the umbilical cord, nourishing the planetary alignment.
An umbilical cord for a planetary alignment?
Yes.
Wow.
Interestingly, Coke expressed an acceptance of this kind of limited role, but also this openness to change based on collective perception.
Based on collective perception, wow, this is getting deeper and deeper.
I know it's a lot to take in.
It is. Let's talk about DNA activation and manipulation as described in this session.
Okay. So the transcript suggests that these dates and alignments are encoded within our DNA. And they're activated by information released from the Earth's quartz crystals.
Okay.
Triggering both these internal changes within us and the larger planetary events.
So it's like a synchronized activation.
Yeah, a synchronized activation on multiple levels.
Wow. And the planetary alignment, that key that we talked about, how does that interact with this DNA programming?
Well, the teeth of the key, meaning the specific configuration of the planetary alignment, are described as codes. And when activated, these codes create this cyclical dynamic of sacrifice and this ongoing struggle between light and darkness.
So it's a cosmic code embedded in our DNA, unlocked by these planetary movements, that just perpetuates this cycle.
That's right.
And it's only the planets visible from Earth that are involved.
Yeah. The session specifies that the planets observable from Earth are the ones that are energetically charged. And utilized in this co-creation. And that eighth planet, that gaseous mass, that's essential for gestating this entire program.
So it's like the visible planets are playing their roles orchestrated by this invisible, nurturing gaseous mass.
Right.
And the concept of a captured planet was also introduced.
Yes. The transcript suggests that Earth is, in a sense, a captured planet.
Captured.
And the only way to transcend this state is by activating our inner consciousness, breaking free from that external programming.
So our inner awareness becomes the key to unlocking a different reality.
Exactly.
And the moon, which was described as an artificial platform earlier, has a role in this manipulation as well.
Oh, absolutely. The moon is described as this artificial satellite that's used to program humans to surrender their energy. Further contributing to this cycle of external influence.
An artificial moon programming us to give away our power. The layers of this are astounding.
It's a lot.
Finally, the session touches upon media manipulation and key energetic moments.
Yeah, the transcript presents mainstream media's coverage of planetary formations as a form of manipulation. Intended to instill fear and a sense of insignificance in humanity.
So fear and insignificance as tools of control.
Right.
And what are the key energetic moments that are said to strengthen these cycles of manipulation?
3 key moments are identified. Periods of high human stress. Significant geopolitical changes on Earth. And the aftermath of wars or major catastrophes. These are seen as times when the programming is most potent.
So times of upheaval on Earth are also times of heightened energetic manipulation. This deep dive into this hypnotherapy session transcript has been quite the journey.
It has.
Revealing a truly unique and complex perspective on these upcoming celestial events.
Absolutely. And it's important to reiterate that the information we've explored today reflects the content of that source material.
Right.
Whether these ideas resonate with your own understanding or not, it certainly provides this fascinating lens through which to consider the world and the cosmos.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We encourage you, our listener, to reflect on these presented concepts and consider your own interpretations and any further questions that they might spark for you.
Yeah, engaging with these perspectives, even if they lie outside of your current belief system, can be a valuable exercise in exploring these diverse ways that humans make sense of the universe.
And I think this raises an important question for all of us to consider. How does this idea of a deeply interconnected reality, potentially shaped by both seen and unseen forces, how does that sit with your understanding of your own life and the events that are unfolding around you?
That's a really good question.
It is. It's a thought to carry with us as we move closer to these March 2025 dates.
Yeah, for sure.
So until next time.
Take care.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.